I'm over here saying good morning, and I am totally muted, y'all. Good morning, Miss W. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, James. How you doing this morning? And I almost did it again, Ray. Even though I know it now, I almost said Raya again, and I don't know why I keep wanting to do that. I don't know why. I'm glad you're here too, Boo. I've been missing you. I've been missing you. I know that real life be life and real life be life and sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes people ain't up early in the morning, and I get that. You know what I'm saying? If you can um if you can get in your sleep, I tell folks that. Or sometimes people be at work, some people be doing stuff with their families. Happy Thursday. That's right. I am going to start changing Thursday, going to switch up between True Crime Thursday and Therapy Thursday. I may end up making another thumbnail to where it could be a lot of different things on Thursday. I'm thinking about changing up some of my my topics on different days and whatnot. Because I just sometimes like coming over here and chilling with y'all and talking and doing things. And so my friend Watcher said you should do Therapy Thursdays, because like I do Wellness Wednesdays, and I'm very passionate about mental health and mental health topics. Y'all know this about me. And I do true crime also, and I'm very passionate about it. But still waiting on the verdict, I believe, for the Karen Reed trial. And the trials that I'm waiting on ain't even went into effect yet. Now, the Diddy trial is one thing. Oh wait, did they come to a? Oh, I think they finally came up with the Karen Reed verdict, y'all. Hold on. Jury finds Karen Reed not guilty of second-degree murder and death of police boyfriend. John O'Keefe, but guilty of a lesser charge of drunken driving. So they found her not guilty of the not the vehicular manslaughter or whatever, or the murder. But they did find her guilty of drunk driving, which she admitted to. She admitted that she was drunk and driving. So they finally came out with that one and everything. And I've been seeing all this mess going over there with everything. Binary looking for his first lady, and Lemon, and then Ghetto crashing out the other day. And I'm like, what the hell is going on in this universe? What is going on in the world? Lord, sweet baby Jesus. Can we get some chill? Can we get some chill? But so, yeah, Karen Reed was found not guilty of second-degree murder, but was found guilty of the lesser charge of drunken driving, which she did admit that she was drunk driving. So, she did admit that. What does she face for the drunken driving, though? She faces probation for the drunk driving. Jurors on Wednesday found Karen Reed not guilty of second-degree murder and the death of her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe, but guilty of a lesser charge of drunk driving after 4 days of deliberation. Reed faces 1 year probation on the charge of operating under the influence of liquor. The jury handed down its decision after deliberating for 22 hours since June 13th. The verdict comes nearly a year after a separate jury deadlocked over whether Reed killed John O'Keefe in 2022. Along with the second-degree murder charge, Reed also faced charges of manslaughter and leaving the scene for allegedly striking O'Keefe with her SUV during the blizzard and leaving him to die in the snow. The case attracted international attention, with many siding with the defense argument that Reed was framed by police. Following an afternoon lunch break, Judge Beverly Kenyon called everyone back to court and announced the jury had initially reached a verdict. However, upon returning from lunch, Kenyon said jury indicated that they had not reached a verdict. During the luncheon break, I received word from the court officer the jury had knocked on the door indicating they had a verdict. But before I could even summon everybody into court, shortly thereafter, they knocked again and said they didn't have a verdict. So I asked the court officer to tell them to put the verdict slip in an envelope and seal it. Kenyon told the court, I haven't seen it. It's been sealed. No one will have access to it. It will be preserved. I'm going to ask it to be marked for identification with the word jury. Kenyon added there is no verdict unless it is announced and recorded in open court. A few minutes later, after the confusion, there was an announcement that a verdict had been reached. So she's been exonerated. They cannot charge her with that charge again. Well, basically, Ray, with that one, it was 2 years ago, in 2022, she was at a party. They were drinking, and something happened. She went to leave. He followed her out. Somehow he fell right there. Some people are saying his body was placed there. There was marks on his arm, looked like a dog attack and or something else. There's so much reasonable doubt in the case that it's not clear what happened to this gentleman really fully. And the first trial, it was deadlocked. Some were thinking she was guilty. Some were thinking she wasn't. In this one, they found her not guilty of second-degree murder, but did find her, however, guilty of drunk driving. Because she did admit to drunk driving. She admitted that she was so drunk she couldn't remember getting home. She couldn't remember a lot of things from that night because she was so drunk, and everybody at the party was drunker than hell. So everybody that was there, really, their stories that they tell and go together, so it was just a lot of reasonable doubt. But a lot of people are covering that case and or looking at the case that we're in here. So I wanted to put that out there. I know my other moderator, Twisted Tea or TT, she's been covering the crap out of it. Now with the Diddy trial, they're just now going into deliberation. I mean, not deliberation, but the defense. They ain't even got into the defense portion of the Diddy trial. So it's going to be going on for a while, and it's been everywhere. In fact, a lot of YouTubers have been there at the trial. So there's been a lot of drama. Of course, also, I want to say happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth to everybody out there. I should have made a Canva for that, to celebrate Juneteenth for everybody out there in the universe. But happy Juneteenth to everybody. It is Juneteenth today, so I had to say happy Juneteenth. And to explain, I know almost everybody knows what it is, but let's say there's somebody out there who don't know what Juneteenth is, right? Let's just say that, we may have somebody from across the seas or something. Juneteenth marks a historic milestone for all Americans, the 160th anniversary of the day that signed the end of the legalized slavery in the United States, a milestone deeply rooted in American story of freedom, resilience, and the ongoing pursuit of justice. On June 19th, 1865, Union Mayor General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, to announce General Order Number 3, declaring that all enslaved people in Texas were free. More than 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation had officially ended slavery in the Confederate States. This day, known as Juneteenth, has become a profound commemoration of freedom, resilience, and the ongoing journey towards justice. Today, Juneteenth is recognized as a federal holiday, a landmark achievement that came in 2021 after decades of advocacy and national reflection of racial justice. This destination offers millions of Americans of all backgrounds the opportunity to pause, reflect, and celebrate together the progress towards unity. Juneteenth is the day for all of us. Freedom is shared. American value and the story of emancipation belongs to all of us across the country. Beyond the month of June, is host to a vibrant mix of events, parades, festivals, musical performances, family-friendly activities, religious and educational programs. These activities are designed to bring people together, foster understanding, and honor the rich culture heritage of Black Americans. As we honor this 160th anniversary, it is important to remember that Juneteenth is both a celebration and a call to action. Oppression in various forms continues as a resistance must come from each of us. Juneteenth is not just a day on the calendar. It is a living testament to the strength and perseverance of those who fought for freedom. This 160th milestone anniversary invites all Americans to reflect on our shared history, celebrate progress, and recommit to the unfinished work of building a more just society. I had to read that, so, for those who don't know what Juneteenth is, some folks may not know. You got to tell folks, So today in America, we celebrate Juneteenth. The proclamation went 2 years. People were still enslaved, and Juneteenth marks the last slaves who were freed, if you didn't know that. The very last that were still not knowing that the emancipation of can I speak today? Proclamation went into effect. There were still slaves after the fact that did not know that they were free. And that's what June 19th or Juneteenth celebrates. But, I had to make sure that, I say that because I want to make sure I celebrate with everybody and everything. And also for those who don't know what it is, may now know what it is. We might have people who don't know, especially if they're not from the States. You know what I'm saying? We can have people out here in the universe that may not know. They may not have did their research, uneducated. Reach one, teach one. But we should also look at today as, ongoing taking care of ourselves, right? And a lot of people, I'm going to say this, right? They don't realize slavery may have ended as in paperwork, right? Paperwork. But it's still going on. People are still slaves to themselves. They're still slaves to the government. They're still slaves to that little screen in front of us. They just got rid of the piece of paper. That's all they did. Because if you really think about it, we work ourselves to the bone. So today we just about pass away most of the time. Think about that shit. People just traded shit in for different shit. That's all it is. We just traded it all in. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. It's just there's with this situation and the climate of today with what's going on, this weekend, actually, I didn't even think about that till just now. They're supposed to have that military parade too on Juneteenth. Oh, Lord, sweet baby. There's going to be some hell go down over the next 2 weeks, y'all. There's going to be some hell going on with this ICE situation, the riots in California. Now they're going to have a military parade. And, I don't know if people are going to be peacefully protesting or not peacefully protesting. And I will say on the ICE situation, if somebody's here and they're just working, that was last Saturday. Ooh, thank you, Jesus. I'm glad they didn't do it on Juneteenth. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Them people crazy anyway. With the ICE situation, and I'm talking about the government. If y'all wondered who I said was crazy people, it's the government. Not our people, the government. The government's crazy as hell. with ICE, if it's a person that is going to be like that one dude who was like an iller from overseas and wasn't supposed to be here anyway, yeah, send those people back. But if a person's just in here chilling and they trying to live the American way, every single one of us, none of us are natural. Yes, we're born here. Our family's been here for many years, but we all came from what is that word I'm looking for? Somewhere else. Even like my Native American history, right? We go back way back. Way back. They followed the Bering Strait. They followed the buffalo to be here, right? So every person has migrated from somewhere else. Every person has migrated from somewhere else. And if you look into our blood, all of us are mixed with many different things nowadays. I know myself, I have like 3 or 4 different kind of Native American blood. I have 3 or 4 different kind of European blood. You know what I'm saying? It's like all over the place. I'm not just, one or thing. You know what I mean? I'm not just one thing. And, you know, with the climate of the world today and the ICE situation, I don't myself believe in taking children away from their parents. But I do understand from both sides how they feel, if that makes sense. Like I did hear that they took some United States citizens, and I mean citizens with their paperwork, and tried to deport them. I don't mean somebody who's here illegally. I mean citizens. I mean actual citizens with real citizenship paperwork. Did y'all hear about that shit? I forgot. It was a young boy who was going to college or whatnot, and he's a United States citizen. I got to look up that case again. And they took his ass and tried to deport him back to somewhere else because that's where his parents or grandparents hailed from. But he was actually a citizen. I was like, damn, y'all trying to take out citizens now? Like my homies that citizens got to watch out. You know what I mean? Now, if they was and then that one dude that they were fighting for to bring back, they did prove that he was a part of the gang life, that he was a part of MS-13. They tried to, you know, that one they took him over there and then they tried to claim he was this. No, they ended up proving they were right about him. They ended up proving they were right about that one. But, you know, it's just crazy. It's crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy over there in the California riots. Like, I'm going to tell all my California people, be careful. And I'm going to say, I got to say what I got to say. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. If it ain't got nothing to do with you, I would suggest you sit your ass at home and stay out of it because you might be wound up in something you ought not to, and you might get hurt or injured, you and your family. Because when they open, because they were talking about having the National Guard there, if they open fire, a bullet don't have eyes, baby. It don't see and it don't care. Protect you and yours. That's all I'm going to say. Sometimes you got to sit out of certain things, especially if you know it's not a nonviolent. If it's a nonviolent protest, go protest. But if you know somebody fits and bring some violence to the protest, child, you might want to get the hell out of there as quick as you can. Because if they were to do something like that, which would be treason, treason on the president's part if he ordered the military to open fire on American citizens. I don't know if y'all know that. That would be considered treasonous to the American people. Yeah, they was even hitting poor little reporters and shit. That's why I say, if it ain't got nothing to do with you, maybe sit the F down, because if you know it ain't going to be a peaceful protest, you don't want to get caught in the crosshair. That's all I got to say. But it is illegal for the military to open fire on American citizens. You can look that shit up. Now, they can make us go back to our homes under threat. You get what I'm saying? But they're not supposed to open fire on American citizens. I don't know if y'all know that, but that's why I say sometimes they don't care about us. We just a number to them. don't get yourself caught up in something that could get you and yours injured. Don't have your kids out there in this stuff, really. You as an adult, do what you got to do, but don't have your kids out there. We've seen that too many times where kids have gotten injured for being in a grown-up situation that they shouldn't be in. Don't have your kids out there. That stuff can be very dangerous. Any protest, I'll say any protest for any amount of matter. You can have your adult self out there, but don't have your kids out there because that could be very dangerous. You never know when the local police departments or whatever don't see you as peaceful no more, and they decide to throw tear gas or we've seen it how many times? Yet those motherfuckers that went up to the White House, don't even get me started on that one. That was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. They should have tear gassed them motherfuckers. That's just my personal opinion. Breaking up into the White House and shit. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. That wasn't a peaceful protest. That was an insurgence. There's a difference. A peaceful protest means you stand outside with little, you know, you got little poster boards and you saying duh, duh, duh. And you pulling up your protest. You ain't trying to break into a government building. That's not a peaceful protest. Sorry, but I don't care if you like it or you don't like it. That's not peaceful. Peaceful means you standing outside of it and you saying what you got to say. You know what I mean? That's peaceful. But how many times have we seen peaceful protests they turn on, but they let those motherfuckers break into a government building? No, I'm sorry. That's bullshit. I call bullshit. That is true. I've heard of that one too, babe. I've heard of them having decoys in the peaceful protests to start riots, to try to bring out riot gear and shit. I've heard that. Like that person ain't even really a part of the peaceful protest, but they out there to really agitate the peaceful protesters and turn it into something else. I've heard of that too. It gives them an excuse to start pushing back at the protest. I've heard that too. It's some bullshit. Let's see what they say on the protest today. It says 2 arrests and hit and run at Southern California No Kings protest. A message of anger and peaceful No Kings protest at California State Capitol. Anti-Trump protest in California. Believe it or not, we had a peaceful protest here, and I didn't even know it was going on because didn't nobody tell me until after the fact. But it was a peaceful one. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. Hey, Brody Parade, how you doing, love? But with this world going on today and as crazy it is, y'all be careful out there. Y'all be careful out on these streets. And you never know, you know what I'm saying, what's going to happen and who's going to go crazy and all this other shit. Like we just seen, like even this beefing on this YouTube shit, right? We just saw those 2 people who got unalived by old dude in Vegas and whatnot. So, you know, this world is crazy as hell. Be careful out there. Every time you step out your door, you got to be careful. You got to keep your eyes and your ears open. Don't be no fool. Have situational awareness when you walk out in this world. That's even when you're driving, right? Like you could get into an accident, you know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. Always keep an eye on your surrounding. Keep an eye behind you. If you see a motherfucker not trying to stop and they fist to hit you, get the fuck out of the way if you can. I'm always got situational awareness. Every time I go outside my house, I'm looking behind me. I'm looking beside of me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care where I'm at, where I'm going. Situational awareness has saved me many times. But, you know, I was hearing about people going to the protest. You can go to the protest. Just make sure you're not in an area where you can't get out. It's what I tell folks if you're going to go to a protest. Make sure you have an out plan. Make sure you have a plan to get the hell away in case shit does go bad, right? Don't set yourself up for failure. Make sure you always have situational awareness. Make sure if you do go join some kind of protest and it being peaceful, make sure you have your this is how I'm gonna get the hell out of here and be safe, right? Always have your backup plan for your backup plan for your backup plan, because you don't never know when some shit gonna pop off, right? Even if you're in the middle of a mall, know where if you see a motherfucker running. I'm going to say this. If you're in the middle of the mall and you just all of a sudden see a crowd running towards you, run with them. Don't sit there like no fool going, what's going on? Ask later. Don't ask right now. It ain't the time. Okay? That's called situation where something's going down. They running for a reason. They running for a reason. And your ass don't need to be in the middle of it. So make sure you run too. Get the hell out of there. Sometimes situational awareness will save your life. If you hear pew, 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 and you sitting right there in the middle of the road, make sure that you, get the hell out of that area. Don't be no fool. Always have an exit strategy. Always. I don't care. Always keep an eye on your surroundings. Know when people mean you no harm, no good. Something I always do. Like, I can pinpoint the motherfucker that's going to start some shit most of the time. Like, yep, it's that motherfucker right over there. He look guilty. He better not do nothing while I'm here. That's all I got to say. But no, it's just situational awareness and knowing, how to protect yourself and your family. But no, today's Therapy Thursday. I figured what I'm going to start on Therapy Thursday to introduce Therapy Thursday is, let's say you got some shit going on and you need to talk it out, right? You need to talk it out. I'm going to have it to where people can come up and they can talk about a situation, and like we can give, opinions. They don't have to listen, because I've been told that I should be a life coach and be a therapist. I am not a licensed therapist. I give that disclaimer now, and I'll give that disclaimer at the top of every show. I am not a licensed therapist. I cannot give you medical and tell you to do anything for your, in that way. But what I can do is give you opinions. And whether you choose to, use those opinions or not, that's up to you, right? Because I've been through a lot. Been through a lot with other people, helped a lot of people through a lot of things. And if I can reach one, teach one, and help one person with what they're going through, I feel like I'll be accomplished, if that makes sense. Right? If I can help one person feel better about a situation that's going on with them. And you don't necessarily have to give all of your, you don't have to say your name. You don't have to say the other person's name. You don't have to say any identifying information, shit like that on this internet, right? But like a situation like me and my friend, this is an example, we're having a fight right now. My friend, she is with a man who is not treating her well. And I've tried to help her through it, but she doesn't want to listen to me. So how do I help my friend? Right? That's just an example, right? I would tell you, as my expert opinion or my opinion from years of dealing with this, the best thing you can do as a friend is stay out of it. Because she's not going to listen to you no matter what you say to her. Right now, she is in love. She does not see the red flags, right? You can try, but you're basically going to lose that. And then you're going to be the friend that they cut off because of that. What you can do for a friend that you know is in a bad situation with a bad partner is just be there when it crumbles. And it will crumble. Because a person who's in an abusive relationship, the abuser is going to try to cut them off from everybody. And if you say something against the abuser, you're going to be the next one they try to get them cut off from. The person who's in the abuse, what you can tell them is says, hey, you know, I know that y'all are happy, you love him or whatnot, but if something ever happens and you need a place to go, just know I'm always here. I'm always here for you. You know what I'm saying? Say it. It's not sometimes what you say, or it's not how, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Okay, you watch that Maintenance Man, girl. You pay attention. Keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes peeled. And if you need me to cut a bitch, let me know. Okay, just saying. But so, you know, there's many different topics and different situations that people go through that they might need advice on, right? And that's what I think Therapy Thursdays should be about. And if nobody wants to come up, that's fine. We can also just talk about different things that are going on in the world or whatnot. But it's there for those who would want to do that. And you don't have to necessarily give happy Juneteenth, watcher. We were just talking about Juneteenth a while ago and also gave a little story on Juneteenth for those who may not understand what Juneteenth is. And those that may be across the seas. Oop, sorry. But I got to look out for my girl, okay? And I will stab you if you hurt her. Just saying. I'm crazy. You don't know. I'm the white crazy bitch. Okay. So be good. Be good. Don't make me go crazy. But yeah, I basically explained what Juneteenth was. To those who may not understand, that could be across the seas, may have not did their educational, may have not, you know, looked it up, don't know what it is for us Americans. You know what I mean? So I did go over what Juneteenth is, and I've also been saying happy Juneteenth to everybody. It's a day for us to unify together and love each other up. And hopefully we will have a peaceful Juneteenth with everybody and love each other up. You remember in 99 when you was in New York City and those folks had no idea what Juneteenth was? Some people don't know what Juneteenth is, and that's why I think, you know, education and, you know, explaining that it was 2 years after. See, a lot of people don't know that it was 2 years after the proclamation of emancipation happened. A lot of people don't know that in some outlining areas, right, that slavery was so happening because they didn't know they were free. And what Juneteenth marks was the day that I read the actual the real colonel's name and all that a while ago, actually came through and said, hey, y'all free. You know what I'm saying? Well, you're not slaves anymore. You ain't been for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Because there were still people living it because they didn't know that had happened. Because you got to think, now we have what we call the internet. Everything's everywhere. If something happens in Washington or something happens in DC or something happens halfway across the world, we know about it because of the cool thing of the internet. But you got to imagine in those days, if the newspapers didn't print it and if news didn't travel, right, then they didn't know about it. Well, technically, a lot of people did not celebrate it back many years ago until a few years ago when it started getting actually recognized as a national holiday. But it's always been there, if that makes sense. It's always been there. But a lot of people didn't know their history, right? They didn't know their history. They had never been taught that in school. People assumed that as soon as the proclamation went, you know, through, that slavery just ended. No, it didn't just end. It did not. Now, I was taught the history, good, bad, and indifferent. I had an amazing history teacher when I was younger who taught us pretty much the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, all of it, right? He didn't leave nothing out. He didn't sugarcoat shit. He told history as history was. And there were some things in the history books that they didn't even write in. They didn't even write them in the history books. So he had to go off script, off the book. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't written in the book. Like the true 100% history was not written. But you got to think about history in this way too. History is a verbal, now they've started to write it down, but is a verbal telling of what happened, right? So it, depending on whose outlook is writing the book, the history could change or be said different or written differently based on who's writing the history, right? Like, so you got to think about that too, whoever's writing the history books. It comes from their viewpoint. When history itself, and this is the way my history teacher put it, history is about facts, and it don't care about your feelings. Facts don't care about your feelings. You get what I'm saying? And history is what we know, so we don't repeat history. Some things in history don't need to be repeated. So what do? We learn from history. But facts don't care about your feelings, right? And the truth about history, you need to be taught the full truth about history. So you don't repeat history. History is just that. It's a learning thing. You learn from history. You learn from bad things that happen. So you don't repeat those bad things. And some good things happened in history too, right? Like progress and different things happened in history. But history don't care about your feelings. Facts don't care about your feelings. This and this and this and this and this is what happened. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like it or you don't like it. Like almost every single war that we have ever been in, whether it be the Civil War, whether it be the World War I, World War II, Korean War, Vietnam, every single one of those wars was fought over one simple thing. You want to know what they were fought over? Money. Every single one of them. They may put, it was fought for this reason or this reason or this reason. No, almost every single one of them, if you break it down to the bare bones and get down to the main cause of every one of them, whether it be oil, money, cotton prices, taxation, every single war has just been about money. Now, it may have turned into something else over time. But originally, every single war known to man was either fought over religious freedom, religion of some kind, or money. Break every war down to the main bare bones of how it started. Every single one of them. Just like they'll tell you the Iraqi war started over 9/11. No, it didn't. It started over oil prices. Money. Civil War, cotton prices, money. Turned into fight for slavery after a while, but it originally started over money. Every single war has been fought over money. Money, making money, and how to get money. Every damn one of them. Take them and break them down to before feelings got involved, before this or that, the next thing got involved in it. Break it down to the bare bones of the origination of it all. Every single one of them started over money. Money or religious freedom or religion of some kind. The holy wars were fought over religion, but if you break that down, it most likely comes down to money too. Every damn one of them. Really break that shit down. Even with like you got to think about what happened with Hitler and all that. That was started over land and war. Now, what they did to the Jews did eventually come into play, right? But originally, it was started over money. It was started over invasions. It was started over who gets the power, right? Almost every single war known to man originates from money. Go look it up in your history books. The other stuff don't get involved until a little bit further into the war. It usually does come down to money. And that's why a lot of people will tell you money is the root of all evil. Because technically it is. People will murder other people for money. Now, I'm not saying anything against our military. I love our military. You know what I'm saying? But if you break down most wars, that's basically what it comes to. The Afghanistan war, oil money. It always comes down to something of that. Or we're protecting our allies or adding, entering because of our allies. And that comes down to money too, because if you make your allies mad, then there goes your trade. You know what I'm saying? Every bit of it. You can bear it down. Too simple. What was this war started over? Most of the time it's money. But I do like learning about history, and there's a reason why. If we think about it, if we learn these things, and we learn about history so we don't repeat history, right? History has a reason, and just like all the things that you've been through in your life, each individual person here, right? That would be considered your personal history. Your personal history, right, has taught you things through your lifetime. Some of the things you may have repeated a couple of times because you're hard-headed, right? But you learned something from each one of those instances. You learned something, you changed, you evolved into a new kind of person. If we look back over our history as people, as human beings, that's basically what evolution is. It's a learning process, right? Just like we've came so far when it comes to educational system, we've come so far when it comes to technology, we've come so far when it comes to all these things, medical. Like, think back 20 years ago about how far medicine has came since 20 years ago. Think about how far, let's say the climate of today has came from 20 years ago. So on and so forth, right? Everything evolves and changes over time. And it depends on our history, what we've been through as human beings, what we're wanting to change in the world and be better at. And there's still some things that are still around today. I will say this, that in more of, because I am from the poorer neighborhoods originally, right? I will tell you that today we see a lot more classism than anything. We see a lot of classism. If you go to the rich neighborhood, people are treated better there. You go to the poorer neighborhoods, people are treated like shit in the poor neighborhoods. Every person that's there is treated poorly because they're in the poor neighborhoods. There is more classism than anything. And then we also have systematic racism that is more prevalent today. Because I'm going to say this, most, and this is most, not all, most racists today are too chicken shit to say stuff to your face. I didn't even know one of my neighbors was racist and had been around them for a long time until the situation that happened with the rallies and shit like that, right? I didn't know. I was flabbergasted. My jaw dropped. I wasn't ready. because they kept it to themselves because they were too chicken shit to say something to anybody. So you didn't know. And I was like, oh, fuck, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like that? Because I don't believe in that shit, right? My mom and daddy taught me a simple thing is treat people how they treat you. If they're good to you, be good to them. If they're an asshole, be an asshole back. I don't care about your religious beliefs. I don't care about your sexual orientation. I don't care about, none of that shit. It's how you treat me. If you're good to me, I'm going to be good to you, right? That's the way I was taught as a kid. But you never know when you could be living next door to like a neo-Nazi and not even fucking know it until a situation happens and it brings the truth out, because those motherfuckers don't do it in your face. They do it behind closed doors, right? So you don't even fucking know, right? And I had to find out the hard way. I was like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Hey, racist stars, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in bigotry. I don't believe in racism. I don't believe in doing that shit to people, right? I don't judge people based on their religious beliefs. I don't judge people based on... I almost want to pull a Martin Luther King on motherfuckers. I judge a man or a woman by the content of their character, not by any other means. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what your religion is. I'm not going to judge you for it. All those things. Hey, Mr. MRH, but in this world today, that's what we see mostly, right? It's more of a systematic thing. It's more of a classism thing. You can have two people get pulled over. One of them got an Armani suit on. They in a nice vehicle and they looking right. They not going to get treated as bad as somebody in a Honda, right? With like some holy ass clothes on, or, not looking the best or whatnot, not having a suit on, just having on some regular blue jeans or some shit. Or if they dress a specific way, they're going to go after that person, but they ain't going after the person in the Armani suit and the business casual, knowing that person in the business casual could actually be the biggest drug dealer you ever seen in your life. And the person over here is just chilling, going to school and going to work. You know what I'm saying? But because they look more presentable, you get what I'm saying? Because they look like they have money. You know what I mean? They're going to treat them different. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. I've lived it. I'm going to tell you, people who live in the poorer neighborhoods get treated like doo-doo a lot. If you live in the upper echelon part of town, and everybody knows what I'm talking about, no matter where you're from, and even if your whole town is a little bit poorer, right? Y'all know the side of town I'm talking about where we say the rich folk live or the high class people live. Those people are treated different than, let's say, the poorer side. And if the electricity goes off on all sides, they getting better treatment. The poor people have to wait. The poor people have to wait for their power to get cut back on. But that rich neighborhood, their power will be back on in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. They're going to work on their stuff first. Now tell me I'm wrong. Y'all ain't seen that shit in the world. I've seen it. But you know what? Also, I am going to invite anybody to come up today if they would like to speak on any topic. I put it as Therapy Thursday, but we could talk about anything if y'all want to. I'm just giving the opportunity if somebody wants to. You don't have to. You know how it is. Let me pin that message right quick. Make sure this is on live chat so I'm not accidentally... Oh, yeah, this is your live chat reminder, not your top chat reminder. Because sometimes I forget to do that, and I miss people's what they say to me because I forget that I'm on live chat. On top chat, not live chat. But in this world, that's what I see more of nowadays. Not saying that the other still does not exist, because it will always exist. Here's the thing. You're always going to have a few bad apples in every single thing in life, right? There's always going to be bad people. Always. You cannot have good without bad. You can't do it. Because there's a balance in this world. Just like, with your emotions. Let's say our emotions. Let's talk about mental health for a minute. You wouldn't know what happy was if you didn't know what sad was. You wouldn't know what calm is if you didn't have anger. So there is a balance to everything, right? Every single negative in life has to have a positive, and then there has to be a neutral that's in between, right? So it's like looking at two of those scales that tip, right? And in between is the base of what the the neutral is. But we always have to have that. And sometimes in the world, it tips more towards the bad people are in power. And sometimes it tips more toward the center. And sometimes it tips towards the good on certain subjects, right? So what's good about today's world is that we're more of a melting pot, right? We're more of a melting pot of people. That's a good thing. We're moving towards progress in that area. Not saying there ain't still bad people out there. And the sad part is the bad people get more attention and uplifted, or their voice gets more attention than the good people. If you notice in all situations, in it doesn't matter what subject we're speaking about, those few bad apples always get their voices the loudest, is it not? I see this in the LGBTQ community all the time, right? The few that make the other, like when we were talking about trans and trans lives and trans matters, the ones that a lot of people disagree with or have, like the Dylan Mulvaney person, and there was another dude who was trying to talk to kids, and I totally forgot his name. They got the loudest voice. When the good trans people and the trans people who actually care about others, their voice isn't uplifted because they're not controversial. The controversial opinion usually does get the loudest voice. Think about it. Jeffrey Marsh. Yeah, that Jeffrey Marsh motherfucker. Thank you, babe. That motherfucker made me mad. I want to punch him in the face. I ain't giving him no respect. None whatsoever. Have y'all heard about Jeffrey Marsh and who he is? Oh, Lily Tino. That Jeffrey Marsh dude, if y'all ain't seen that shit, y'all should look that shit up. He tries to get kids to go into private chats with him, private discords, and tell him more than they tell their parents. And he seemed like he trying to use the movement for his own sicko needs. And that's the problem, is that people like that are using something. Like if you look at the feminism movement, you look at any movement that has happened in history, we can say any movement. They all started out with good intention and then wound up in a bad place, in a bad spot because of bad apples with the loudest voices. Every damn one of them. Every damn one of them. Don't matter which one you're talking about. You can go back in history and say every movement that was started, the movement was started based on a good idea, based on good premise, with good intention. And then some bad mofos got a hold of it, straight up turned it. Or used it for their own gain and didn't really do what they were supposed to do. Either or. Started out with good intention, good things, and then got a bad name because some bad apples. That's usually what happens. Think about it. Retrospectively, use your knowledge and the things that you know about life. Always starts out with good intention, then a few bad apples grab a hold of something, and they mess it up for everybody. That's just like when we was in school, right? And we had free day. We had free day. They used to have free day in school. Kids don't get that no more because when we were in school, we had a few bad apples who fucked up free day. Like they were trying to skip school or do drugs during when they ain't supposed to, or go off campus and do some shit they ain't supposed to, whatever the reason may be. And our free days got canceled because of that. And now the kids in the next generations don't even get to play around with that because a few bad apples messed it up for everybody. It's always that way. Think about some of the things, that you used to do or could do, and then a few bad apples mess it up for everybody. Why is it always that way? Why they always messing up shit? Why can't we have nothing? This is why we can't never have nothing nice. You know that old saying, this is why we can't never have nothing nice? I do too. As those few bad folks being their celebrities, I feel bad for them, for real. But that's why they always have that saying of, this is why we can't have nothing nice. Because of people like that. The few bad apples always mess it up, don't they? And it don't matter what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? You can apply that to a lot of things. But education is key and knowledge is power. If you don't know something and you want to know about it, educate yourself on it. Learn about it. Research it in deep topics. Like, don't just learn from one perspective either. Learn it from many different perspectives, many different viewpoints. Because if you learn it from only one side, you're really not educating yourself at that point. Because you only know it from one side. And see, that's why I really don't talk politics over here. That's why I don't go for either party. I'm down the middle. I want to know what you're going to do for my people. I want to know what your political strategies are. I want to know if you're going to get us into another war. I don't care about which party you go for. To me, that actually ruins it. I'm sorry. I wish more people were independent voters and chose the candidate based on their political views and what they plan to do, not based on a party. Because that's just like in the schoolyard, you had the popular crowd, right? That's what this reminds me of. You had the popular crowd, you had the popular girl, the popular boy, right? And let's say you had two different popular groups. It would be like you had y'all. Did y'all hear that thunder? It's storming over here, y'all. I don't know how it is over there, but yeah, that was thunder. That was thunder. That was oof. That shook the whole house. I know, bro. Man, I can't be doing no thunder, and I really don't like lightning. I'm very, very like freaked out by lightning. I don't want to get struck by lightning. I'm scared of that shit. Electricity is scary. It's scary.
I think the arrow back the next end up here.
That's true though. Now the party cares about the common person. We're a number of them. And that's why I think people should be more independent thinking and not go based on affiliations. Because if you're just basing your vote on because I like this specific party, but you're not looking into their political views, what they plan to do when they get in office, what they want to accomplish, you're actually setting yourself up for failure because you're just voting because you like the party. That's why I say I would love more people to be independent. Independent thinkers. Yeah, that's true. That's the only lightning I want to is the F-150 SVT lightning. Yeah, And you know, I might like the like a pretty lightning bolt down the side of my car that's for looks or look pretties, but I don't want the real thing, y'all. How's it looking over y'all's way? Any of y'all else having storms in y'all's areas? How's everything going with y'all? I know we storming over here. Man, it's beautiful, but your power out. Ain't that some messed up shit, Racing Stars? How it'd be storming and your power never go out, but then it's a beautiful day and the power just go out from nowhere. I swear to God, sometimes that be happening over in my area. Be like the day before we had the worst storms ever. Power never glitched, never went out, never had no problem. But the very next day, a sunny, gorgeous, beautiful day, power just go out for no fucking reason. And you're like, what the hell? Do y'all have that problem, Racing Stars? Coffee. It's not going to be a pretty day today here. I'm pretty much going to be stuck in the house today, which is cool by me. I'm great with that. I'm cool with it. Oh, man. They cut off your power before you even got a damn shower. That's some bullshit. Because now you can't go take a shower because it might be cold-ass water. The hot water ain't even hot no more. Oh, man. So that means you got to wait on starting your morning until the power come back on. That's a bullshit. It's bullshit. Like, man, I couldn't even take my morning shower because of the motherfucking power company. I'm just glad it's morning time and it ain't hot as shit yet. You know what I mean? It ain't hot as shit yet. But it's gonna be. Y'all better get that power on before it gets hot as hell. That's what I'm saying. You thinking right now. Y'all better be getting this power on before it gets hot as hell. We got about an hour before it starts getting hot as hell. Y'all better be getting my power on. Good morning, Miss Linda. How you doing? Yeah, Racing, you got about a good hour or so before it starts getting hot in your house. And then it's going to be harder for your air conditioning and stuff to cool it off. Because you know by midday, it's hot as hell. So about 10 o'clock is when it starts really warming up. 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then it just gets hotter from there. So they got about a good hour, maybe, before it get hot as hell in your house. So they better get your power on back within an hour is all I got to say. Because that's the way I feel down here down south. Man, they did that to us one time, and it was in the hundreds, Racing. Our power grid kept going out because it couldn't handle, I guess, everybody's air conditioning being on at once or something. They ended up having to upgrade our power grid in the area that I used to be from. That shit went off in 100 and something degree weather. It was hot. Like, we had about a good 30, 45 minutes in the house before you had, like, you know, with the air that was still in the house where it was cold in the house before, you know, it just dissipated. And we was telling people, don't open the doors, don't open the refrigerator, don't open nothing. You know what I'm saying? Don't fan that door. Don't open that door. You're going to let the cool air out. So, you know, and whatnot. We had about a good 30, 45 minutes before it started getting hot as hell. And I mean hot as hell. Our power went off in 106 degree weather with the damn sun being right over top. And the only option your ass had, because the power was out, was you better hope you have good air conditioning in your car. People were sitting out in their cars, child, trying to stay cool. It was hot as hell. Man, there was a lot of people cussing the power company at that point. I ain't joking. A lot of people cursing and whatnot. Now, I'm going to tell you something if you don't know. If you have somebody in your house that has a health condition that the power being out could affect, you can actually be put on a list at your power company. That means you're a priority. If anybody in your house is on oxygen, that's a priority person. 2, if you have a breathing condition, like you have asthma or bronchitis or something along that matter, COPD, and the heat's going to cause you to go into, you know, something happening, you have that. So check with your power company, because you could be a priority person and you could be put on a list where if your power goes off, you are priority. And if y'all have enough priority people in your area, then y'all's power get cut on first. I'm doing all right, Miss Linda. My voice is still a little messed up. And I've been having the coffees. I thought I was getting sick from it. Y'all know when the medicine went up my nose about 2 weeks ago. I've still been having a little trouble with my throat because of that. I'm getting better, but it's healing. But it did mess up my throat for a while. I don't know if y'all noticed it when I talked, or how my voice is semi changed a little bit since that happened. It's I don't know if you've ever noticed, like when an injury starts healing, especially if it's in your throat or in your lungs, you get mucusy. I've been having to deal with that issue because it did whatever that when that happened with that, it did affect my vocal cords, and it did cause an injury a little bit, but it's getting better. I do next Wednesday. Now I got to tell y'all something. I have to have a jaw tooth pulled, so I have to do it at 8 o'clock in the morning. So next Wednesday, I may not even do my live stream, or if I do, I may do like 20 or 30 minutes, or I may start early next Wednesday just so I can have a little bit put in. But I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do it at all because I got to get dressed, get ready, and leave, right, and whatnot. Actually, I think I set it at 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's at 10 o'clock. I didn't set it at 8. It's at 10 o'clock. But I'm going to have that back tooth pulled. I could have had a root canal and a cap put on, but a lot of y'all may or may not know this. The reason my teeth are crooked like they are is I have no spaces between my teeth. I was supposed to get braces as a kid. Some shit went down. I wasn't able to get my braces. Anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and have it pulled. At this point, it's not causing any pain or anything like that, but I want to take care of it before it becomes a problem. Some people wait till it is a problem. I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. I'm taking care of that shit next Wednesday. So you know how some people say they got a tooth doctor's appointment, then they don't do it. I'm actually doing it. So next Wednesday, if y'all don't see me live, you'll know why. And the Thursday after, please, look over the fact that I may be talking funny. You know what I'm saying? Because I may have stuff in my mouth to keep clamped down because it is a jaw tooth. And it is a back jaw tooth, the very back jaw tooth. It got, I guess I must have injured it at some point or another and didn't know it. But it got a crack in it. I don't know how that happened. I really don't. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the dentist. I'm going to have this thing pulled. I don't want to take no chances. It's not rotted or anything like that. I don't have a cavity. It got some kind of injury sometime or another. I guess I ate something or bit into something. I don't know. But there's no rot. There's no cavity. Nothing like that. It just for some reason got a crack down it, and before it becomes a problem, I'm gonna have it pulled. I don't want it to become something more terrible. I must have injured it somehow or another though, and I don't know how I did that. Maybe I was eating some hard candy or something. I don't know, but he said there's not a cavity and there's no rot, no nothing like that. I must have injured that tooth somehow or another. Did nothing break off or anything. It's got like a little hole on the side, and I don't know why. He said it wasn't rotten or nothing. Like there wasn't no like tooth decay. There's no tooth decay. That's why I could still get what they call a root canal, and I could get a cap put over it or something. But that's just putting off the inedible. Because I'm close to 40. That's putting off the inedible that it's going to eventually have to be pulled anyway, right? Because let's say something gets trapped under that, food gets trapped under that cap, that crown or whatever, something gets into it, it'd cause problems. You know what I'm saying? So might as well get it pulled before it becomes a problem. But I had my x-rays done yesterday and my setup, for getting this pulled out and talk to the dentist and all that. But he basically told me, he said, it depends on how much money you want to put into this tooth. You know what I'm saying? How much money you really want to put into it. And I'm like, well, is it just going to be putting off the eventually going to have to be pulled anyway, right? And he goes, yeah. I said, then why do I want to do that? It's only going to save the tooth for a couple of years. I as well have the bitch cut out. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Go ahead and have that thing pulled. I ain't going to be walking around here with no damn messed up teeth. I'd rather be toothless and get me some false teeth. I swear to God. Hell, maybe then I'll have straight teeth for the first time in my life. I've always had crooked. You know what I'm saying? But see, I don't get no snow, Miss Linda. I very rarely ever get snow in my area. You know what I'm saying? Because I live down south, right? So we get hot weather all the time and very rarely ever get snow. But I really just can't stand the cold anyway. I don't know about y'all, but I got bursitis and arthritis, and they don't like the cold. They can't stand the cold. And my back hurts worse because I have degenerative disc disease. So I don't like the cold, you know, for that simple fact. But yeah, I don't want to have to do all that with the root canal and all that shit. And I'm just like, just pull that bitch. Just take that hoe out. I'm good. I am glad to note that there was no, there's no cavity. I'm like, well, ain't it weird that I ain't got cavities, but this happens? Crazy. You smell really good, babe. Okay. Babe just came out of the shower. He smells really good. And y'all know I love shit that smells good. I have a problem. Yeah, it being a very back tooth, I ain't gonna miss it. Nah. I ain't gonna miss it none. It's way back yonder in the back. In fact, it may give me more jaw space for my other teeth because I ain't got no spaces. So it might give me some more spacage, which you never know. I'm finally at that age where that shit's starting to hit me, racing. I'm finally at that age, you know, being 30, 37. I'll be 38 this year. I'm finally at that age when that shit starts happening to you. When shit starts catching up. I will say this. I did not know that stretching and sneezing and coughing could be very dangerous for your health when you get older. I took for granted sneezes and coughs and stretching when I was in my 20s. I took it for granted, y'all. I didn't know that when you get older, if you stretch the wrong way, be done throughout your whole back, tying your shoes dangerous, walking down the stairs is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know just going to the bathroom, if you turn the wrong way, you could mess yourself up. I didn't know all this stuff was dangerous. I took for granted so much when I was in my 20s. I took it all for granted, y'all. I also didn't know, I don't know if y'all had this problem, but if I stay up past a certain time at night, I feel like doo-doo the whole next day. I feel like I got run over by a Mack truck. I did not know how much naps are needed when you get older. I did not know that sleep is so important until now. Because in my 20s, I could stay up for days at a time. I mean, I could be up for 3 full straight days and be just fine. Shit, not now. Let me stay up past 10:30 at night. Let me not go to bed, and let me stay up past 10:30 at night. I'm going to feel like crap the whole next day. I did not know that shit happens to you and that it hits you like a ton of bricks out of nowhere. Like you still think you in your 20s and can do it all. And then all of a sudden it smacks you up upside the head and says, no, sit your ass down. You getting older, bitch. Sit down. Sit down somewhere. Also, I will say I'm getting at that age where, I've already lost my grandparents, but I'm getting at that age to where I'm starting to, I've already lost siblings. I'm starting to see what so many of our older generation talk about when they lose a lot of family members. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to get to that point. But I sure didn't know that if you accidentally sneeze, you could pee yourself. I sure didn't know that you can't trust farts no more. I didn't know that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust those bitches. I didn't know if you stretched the wrong way, you could totally pull out your shoulder or give yourself a crick in your neck out of nowhere. Ciao. Miss Rayson, when did it start hitting you, though, that aging was a bitch? It hit me this year. I'm just saying. Actually, probably this after 35. I'll say that it hit me after 35. I started noticing a little bit when I hit 30, but after 35 is when I really started paying attention to it. And I only like 2 years to 40, so it's really starting to touch down a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going to come when I turn 40. Shit. Damn. I'm scared. I think it's hit me 2 years early, Racing. 2 years early. Because I only got 2 years to 40. And I think that shit starts hitting you, and you start realizing you ain't young no more, and you can't do the shit that you used to do. And it kind of fucks you up mentally a little bit because you think you can still do it. And then you realize you can't, and that you need to sit your ass down somewhere. Yeah, I think I just figured that shit out this year. I am not joking, this year. Like, I was able to do all kind of shit in my 20s. And now I'm like, yeah, I can't do half of what I did in my 20s. Oh shit, I was living life. I swear to God, I snap, crackle, and pop, Miss Linda. I snap, crackle, pop. I can't pick up the things I used to. I can't do some of the shit I used to. Like, I'm gonna say this. I was a strong, even with my back condition, I've had it since I was 15. Strong-minded, strong individual. Right? And I used to deadlift bigger, more than what I weigh. So, I very strong. Let's just say it that way. And now I realize that I can still do it, but I'm going to have hella consequences after the fact. So I'm not to the point that I can't do it, but I know I'm going to have consequences. And it's going to be a bitch afterward. I think there does become a point where you just can't do it anymore, right? I'm not to that point yet. I'm to the point that I can still do it, but I'm going to face consequences. And I'm going to face heavy consequences. I think that's what the start of it is when you start noticing you're aging, is that you're going to have the consequences. And then it gets to a point that you can't do what you used to do. There's some things that I can't do what I used to do, but there's some things I still can, but I'm going to face heavy consequences for doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to sit my ass down for like 3 or 4 days afterward and rest after I do it. I can still do it, but I'm going to face consequences. You know what I mean? Like, the consequences is there, child. Like, can I still stay up past 12? I can, but I'm going to face consequences. And it's not going to be good consequences. Can I still go pick up that 50-pound bag of soil? Yeah, but I'm going to face consequences. You know what I'm saying? Can I still go do this, that, and the next thing? Can I still go push mow 2.5 acres by myself? Yes, but I'm going to face consequences. And I used to not face consequences. And so now I'm having to get used to the consequences. And then eventually there's going to come a point when I'm not going to be able to do it because the consequences are too high. So that's the way I think I figured out what aging does, right? Every year, the consequences for your actions get worse. That's the way I'm thinking about it. If I'm wrong, please tell me I'm wrong. But the consequences get worse and worse and worse and worse for your actions. And then it comes to a point that you just can't do it no more because the consequences are too high. They're too high. You can't even do it because you know what's gonna happen afterward. You know what I'm saying? Your mind says you can, but your body says sit the fuck down. You know better than this shit. Now that's the only thing, Racing Stars, I got going for me. I still got my good eyesight, still got my good sense of smell, and I still got good hearing. But I got the back of an 80-year-old woman. I have to deal with consequences that I should not have to deal with at 37 years old, right? I have probably a worse back than than people that I know that are in their 80s because of a situation that was out of my control when I was 15 years old. I have degenerative disc disease, and technically it kind of pisses me off because my dad worked his entire life. My dad was a roofer. My dad was a strong-ass man. My dad used to lift vehicles up and let people change the tire. You know what I'm saying? My dad used to do like hard labor, and it's understandable why he has the back condition that he has. Yet myself, my condition came from a freaking bus accident. The fuck you mean? When I was 15 years old, I didn't do hard labor most of my life. A lot of y'all who have back conditions or knee conditions or hip conditions, y'all worked y'all's ass off, right? Y'all did things, and that's the reason. That's what come from it, right? It's bullshit. It's bullshit when I have it. And I don't feel like I should be able to complain about it as much because I didn't like go do back-breaking labor and do these things to have this condition. And I'm only 37 years old. And I've had it since I was 15. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's bullshit. I could understand if I actually, but it just kind of pisses me off. So it is what it is, though. We can't change it, right, Racing Stars? What we can do is live with it. Wait till I turn 60. Boy, child, I don't know what's going to happen when I turn 60. I hope I ain't in a wheelchair by 60. That's all I'm praying for. That's all I'm praying for, dog. I just want to keep being able to walk, no matter the pain, no matter what happens. I just want to keep being able to walk. That's all I want. And I saw a motherfucker making fun of somebody with a handicap the other day, and that pissed me smooth the fuck off. Did y'all watch Miss Angela's video? Oh, that pissed me fuck off. That pissed me the fuck off. That made me so angry, I wanted to stab a bitch in the face. Making fun of a special needs person. You can go straight to hell. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Fuck you and the horse you rode in. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I can't stand no man who does stuff like that because that ain't a man in my opinion. That ain't even a little boy. Little boys even know better than that shit. To me, that's just a piece of shit human. And I don't want you to collect $200. I don't want you to pass go, fall off a cliff. Like me, myself, and I can't stand no motherfucker that does some stuff like that. But I'll tell you what, I'm still walking right now. I'm still going. I'm still doing what I got to do as a parent. Even though my son is almost 18 years old, I still take care of my two elderly parents. I still help take care of hubbies, when they get there. I'm still going to be doing that. I'm still going to be cutting. I'm still going to be doing what I got to do until the wheels fall off this motherfucker. I'm going to continue to do what the fuck I got to do until the wheels fall off this motherfucker. I ain't going to give up. There is no give up in my name because can't never could do nothing. That's what I was always told. You don't ever say you can't. Don't ever say it won't happen neither. Because if you say it won't, it will. And don't speak terrible affirmations over yourself. Every day that you wake up, I want you to speak positive affirmations over yourself, your life, and your body. Every day, positive affirmations. Don't let that negativity take over, and don't let it bother you and take you down, because you just got to keep pushing and keep going no matter what. You know what I'm saying? That's the way life is, and we got to look at it like that. I know, right, Miss Linda? I wish I could go back to being a kid. You know, when I was a kid, I couldn't wait to grow up. Now I'm like, shit, can I go back to being a kid again? And that's what I'm saying, Miss Linda. You worked hard your whole life. You know what I'm saying? You did things. You know what I mean? You accomplished things. But I think all of us sometimes, when we was younger, when you was 17, 18, 16 years old, you was like, I can't wait to grow up to be. And then when you get grown and you realize them bills don't stop and responsibilities never end, you wish you could go back to being a kid again. And even kids don't listen. We tell them, don't take this time for granted. We tell them, you don't want to grow up too fast. Don't do it. Take your time. Be a kid for a while. They don't listen, and I know we didn't listen either. But now we wish we could go back. We wish we could be back in those younger years and be stress-free and just, you know, chilling and shit. You wish you could go back. You know what I'm saying? And no, there ain't no going back, baby. You wish you could go back to your glory years. You blink and that shit just, I swear to God, it feels like you blink and 10 years done happened. I feel like my son was just born yesterday and he's almost 18 years old. I blinked. What the hell happened? You know what I'm saying? I tell people, don't take your children for granted. Don't take those young years for granted. It may be hard or in some ways, but it gets harder when they get older. It gets harder. Don't take those little cutesy times when they're little for granted, because you blink and it's they're almost grown. You know what I'm saying? Don't blink. Just like the song, don't blink. It's true. Don't blink. Just like that. Let's see. And have y'all heard that song, Don't Blink, by Kenny Chesney? Don't blink, just like that. You're 6 years old and you take a nap and you wake up and you're 25 and your high school sweetheart becomes your wife. Don't blink, you just might miss your babies growing like mine did, turning into moms and dads. Next thing you know, you better have a 50 years that's there in bed, and you're praying God takes you instead. Trust me, friend, 100 years goes faster than you think. So don't blink. That one is so true. Like, don't blink for real. It goes faster than you think. Time is the most precious commodity that we have as human beings. And don't waste your time, I'm going to say this, on people who don't mean shit to you and on things that are just going to hurt your life. You know what I'm saying? And don't waste your life on the people. They're not worth it. Letting them take up your time, don't let them take up your time. If they're not worth your time, cut them out of your life. Don't watch them. Don't listen to them. Turn off the TV. Turn off the YouTube. Flip to another channel. You know what I'm saying? They're not worth it. They're really not. If you think about it in retrospect. You know what I'm saying? It's really not worth it, because you're wasting your time on somebody that ain't even worth it at that point. Why do you think I've been on ignore game with certain things and stuff like that? It's because they're not worth it. You're not worth my time. You're not worth my energy. You got a little bit of it, and that's it. That's all you worth. You're not worth more than that. And I don't give a damn about you. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Don't let somebody take away your precious time from yourself, from bettering yourself to to having some fun or smiling today and tomorrow and the next day. If somebody brings nothing but bad into your life, they ain't worth being in your life. You know what I mean? Look for people who are going to bring positivity into your life, going to make you think, going to love you up, going to care about you and shit like that, because life's so short. People don't realize how in a blink of an eye it can be gone. You know what I'm saying? People don't realize. They really don't. They don't realize how fast how time goes, how time flies, how our precious commodity of life is, and how fast it could be gone from you. And the reason I know this is because at 20 years old, I got told I wasn't going to be here no more. And I'm going to tell you something. You don't know what it's fully like to know that life goes by and life is so short. It's not as long as you think it is. So make it what you want it while you're here. I got to call my pharmacist right quick and get my blood pressure medication filled, because I got to take my amoxicillin and all that. I'm getting older now, so now I'm taking medications by the handful, and I ain't even up there yet. You know what I'm saying? I ain't up there yet to where I'm taking off. Do you know what my favorite song is, Miss Linda, by Blake Shelton? Do you know the song "The Baby"? That is my favorite song by Blake Shelton. It was the early part of his career, and it's "I was the youngest child, so I got by with more. That one's kind of crazy. That one is my baby." My favorite part of that song is "Got a call in Alabama, so come on home to Louisiana and come as fast as you can fly, 'cause your mama really needs you. Says she's got to see you. She might not make it through the night. The whole way I drove 80 so she could see her baby. She looked like she was sleeping, and my family had been weeping. By the time that I got to her side, I knew that she'd been taken, and my heart, it was breaking. I never got to say goodbye. I softly kissed that lady and cried just like a baby. I love that song by him, and I cry just about every time I sing that song. I hear that song. I just be crying like a little bee. I just be crying. I do. I cry. I love that song, though. That's a good song. Let me call these people right quick. I'm going to go on mute for just a minute, y'all. I got to call these people and tell them to fill my medications. Woo, I'm back. Sorry about that. I gotta go to my chart. And I love that about nowadays. You got that my chart. You know, back in the day, you didn't have all that. I gotta go through there and request a refill thing. Let me request refills. Request refills. All right, and go to next, and next, and submit. There we go. Took care of that. Woo! Look at me being an adult. I'm adulting, y'all. I'm adulting. Ain't it crazy though? Thinking about, man, I love a nap nowadays. When I was a little bit kid, I hated naps. Like I never wanted to nap, and now it's like, yay, naps! I love naps. Naps are awesome. So you did the maintenance man leave? Did I need to shake him? Did he do a good job? Did he do all right? Because you know I'd shank him if he didn't do good by you. Hey, Gamecock Jenny. Hey, love. Good morning. Now I was just having to call in I had to call in my scriptions, and then I found out I needed refills, so I had to go take care of that, which was no problem because I love the my chart thing now. I love being able to look at the my chart and being able to tell you everything. You know, they didn't have that. They just got that a few years ago. And did y'all hear this storm out here? I don't know if y'all can hear it, but the thunder is rolling. And the thunder rolls and the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night as the storm blows on out of control. Deep in her heart, thunder rolls. Yeah, the thunder's rolling, baby. It's rolling. Also, ain't it easier like to like check on your parents' stuff? Like I take care of my parents, my charts. So when I go to fill their medications and I take care of them, it's so much easier now having that digital format than it was, let's say, a few years ago when I had to call like 50 different doctor's offices and do all this, that, and next thing. Now I could just go on this simple little thing and take care of everything at one time. You know what I'm saying? I could check test results when they have them. You know what I'm saying? I can do all that. It makes it so much easier than it was like years ago, right? To me, it makes it so much easier. And being able to take care of multiple people at one time, it's just super easier than it was way back. Like now I can take care of everything and do it digitally. It's so much simpler than it was long, long time ago. Also, I got like this new background that I was going to test out for like Therapy Thursdays where it looks like I'm sitting on a couch, but I kind of like the couch, but you can't. Let me see if I can change. I think I do have it to where I can make myself a little bitty bubble. See, look, I can make myself a little bitty bubble up in the corner when people come up and it look like they sitting on the couch, but I got to change to a new, I got to make a new little thing down here, right? And that way I can have their bubbles sitting on the couch. I think that's a cute one. But I do like my when I'm over here sitting in my little reading nook with my fire. I do like this one too. I do like sitting in my little area. I do. See, I'm sitting over here in my little area. I'm by the books, y'all. I'm by the books. Well, I hope that you have a very good doctor's appointment, Miss Jenny. I've said it. I've said it earlier for those who are coming in. I will have to have Wednesday a tooth pulled next Wednesday, so I'm probably not going to do my normal stream because I have to be there at 10 o'clock. So I have to leave my house by at least 9:30. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to talk afterward because it's a jaw tooth. So it's going to be a little bit more, present or whatnot. And I may not feel like it. You know what I mean? My jaw may be hurting. Because I don't know if y'all know how they take out a jaw tooth, but they have to break those jaw teeth sometimes in 4 different places to get it out. And it can make your jaw very sore. It usually takes about 24 hours for the initial clot to form or whatnot, which is crucial for healing. And then, the mouth starts to decrease, like the swelling and stuff, after 2 to 3 days. But I just want to keep y'all informed. So if y'all do see me disappear, it's because of getting that tooth pulled. Depends on how my jaw swells and all this other stuff. Depends on, Oh, you're getting your new leg? I'm super excited about that, Gamecock Jenny, for you, because I know that's going to be awesome. Okay, I totally just had like a excitement moment, if you can't tell, because I know that you're super excited for that. I know it's going to be so awesome. So I'm super excited. It's going to be awesome. Congratulations on getting your new leg, Gamecock Jenny. I know that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for you. Like, I'm super excited for you. And I know you're excited, but I'm like it's crazy. It ain't even me. And I'm like super excited. Like, I'm so happy for you. I love when people have something amazing happen in their life. Like, how some people get jealous of others when they have something cool happen. I'm not that type. I get really excited for people when awesome things happen in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like when people get, promotions in their job or different things. Like, I don't get jealousy, and I don't understand why people get jealous of others when they have something awesome happen, or they get, like crazy about them. I'm like, I'm super excited. Like when people get like awesome things happening, I get so excited. But also, I'm not a hater, and I don't be player hating. So maybe that's another thing too. Because some people be player hating. Some people just be hating to be hating. I swear to God. I'm so happy for you, though. This is gonna be so awesome. I know, right? I remember when you started talking about it or whatnot, and you were telling me about it, and I know that this is going to be super awesome, and I'm so excited for you. Like, super excited. Some folks just be hating, though. You know what I'm talking about. They just be hating. They be player hating. I like, stop playing hate. This is going to be so awesome, though. Also, I know this has been like a thing for you. So it's like, it's like you're reaching the goal that you've been going after and you're finally there. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, and so that's the way I feel right now for you is like, I know you've been working towards that goal. And I'm like, yeah. Like when you finally reach the finish line, it's the most amazing thing to me. Um, it's like everybody that in here, like if you're like, if I know somebody's going for like where you've been, trying to get this laid for 4 months now and you've been working for it and doing all this. So it's super exciting. Or when I know somebody's got like something that's happening in their life and they've been working towards that goal for a long time and they finally reach it, I get super excited for that person and get really happy for them. And I'm just like, yay. One of my cousins is actually in the hospital right now with, I think she may be getting out today though, for congestive heart failure. She is young. She's only 2 years older than I am, or a year older than me. I think she's a year or 2 years older than me. A couple years. It's just a few years. So she's in her early 40s, and it's really sad. But I've been telling her to take care of herself, for a while now. But so if y'all could say a prayer for her, that she gets on the ball and takes care of herself and everything goes okay. Because just heart failure is not something you can heal from, but you can live with for a while. And I've got to ask her what stage she's in also because I'm not sure. So I have to ask also what stage and what type, because there's different forms of it. You know what I'm saying? So I do have to ask her that too. Yeah, it's crazy when they're young like that too. She's always been a bigger girl. But yeah, I am very excited for Gamecock Jenny on the new lake because that's going to be amazing. She's been working towards that, and it's been a goal, and I know that she is super excited. I like when I get to see people do amazing things, and you don't know Gamecock Jenny, you just made like my whole day. I just want you to know that. I just want you to know that. Like, you made me super excited. Okay. And it ain't even my leg, but I'm super excited. Like, if you notice, it just made me super happy, because I know that you've been waiting on that. And that's the crazy part about me is like I could be having a rough day and nobody knows it. I don't tell people all the time and stuff's going on with me, right? But just talking to y'all and just having these conversations, you just brighten my mood. I just wanted you to know that because I was super excited about it. It just made me get giddy happy for like, yay. Because, yeah. So I just wanted you to know that. Because you never know. So that's why I tell people all the time, you never know what somebody else is going through. And you never know if you're just being you could make somebody else's day brighter. Uh-huh. It happens all the time. And that's why I try to spread smiles and happiness and love and all that stuff because there's already enough evil in this world and bad things happening. Right? But anyway, I'm still gonna. I will let y'all know when I find out more about my cousin's condition. When I find out, sad part is we've lost everybody on that side of the family. Pretty much every one of my cousins that are like my dad's age from that side of the family are no longer here with us. My great aunts from that side, every one of them are gone. So I have very few of the older generation in my family still alive. That's why I said when that specific person be trying to mess with the elderly people in people's families, you can't mess with mine. They're gone. They're already not here anymore. They're not here. So you just got to go talk to. Oh, there's a tree down on the trace blocking the whole lane by visitor center. That's crazy. Okay, hold on. Let me go let them know right quick. Hold on just a minute, y'all. I got to let them know. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to go tell them about the tree being down on the trace because the Trace Parkway is a way that a lot of us locals cut through town, so we don't have to deal with, red lights and shit. So I had to go tell them just in case they decided to leave. I don't think they're going to leave yet, though. They're trying to wait for some of these storms to go by just a little bit, but I had to go tell them just in case. So I ran in there and I ran back. Woo! Anyway, so that's taken care of. Also, I have to wait on a prescription refill, babe. So just to let you know, I'll let you know if that happens or not. Woo-wee. I'm probably going a little while after I get off here talking to y'all and having a good old time. I'm probably going to go play me some video games and see what's going on in the sectors and see what everybody doing and is any crazy mess going down, you know, stuff like that. Tell Dad when you see him I love him. But I'm just sitting here chilling for right now. These storms are, it is what it is down south. Now, they have been saying that Mississippi has had more tornadoes this year and is in the top 5 for the most. It's just bad storms today. It's not tornadic today for us. Just bad storms. But right now, anyway, Let me look up. There goes the thunder. Let's see what weather stuff we have today. Let me look over here. I got to look over here on WTVA. If you're from this area, y'all know that's the best ones to look at. Matt Lompong is the best, or Lombon, or however you want to say it. I would say it's Lompong. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but that's what I say his name is. Anyway, he's awesome. I wish Baby Shark would bring their butt in here so I could ask what they think. Baby Shark's a storm chaser, if y'all didn't know. They come in here quite often. You'll see K-Fam Baby Shark, or K-Fam Shark, or I call him Baby Shark. That's just my nickname for him. That's just my nickname. Y'all know I create nicknames for folks sometimes. Some reason, every time I see Gamecock Jenny's name, I want to sing, I'm still Jenny from the block, whether I have a little or I have a lot. I know where I came from. I don't know why, but every time I see Gamecock Jenny, that's what I be thinking. I don't know. I don't know. And every time I see American Honey, I think of the song with her name in it. Yeah, make it a special day, Miss Gamecock Jenny. Like have you a special meal, all that other stuff. Like, you just got to make it an awesome day. And a congratulatory day on Monday. Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be a lot of rain. A lot of rain. And it's going to last. It looks, let's see. It'll be somewhat out of our area about 11:58. And then more coming in later this afternoon, around 2 something. So between 11 and 2, I'll tell them to do their stuff, so they won't be out in none of the mess. None of the mess. Y'all make sure y'all gonna have some good lunch at St. Ian. Celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Monday, if I'm on live or whatnot, you'll probably be at your doctor's point while I'm on live. But like, we could celebrate for you. We could have a celebration. We could celebrate good times. Come on, I'm gonna celebrate and have a good time. We're going to celebrate for you, Gamecock Jenny, and then you're going to celebrate. We're just going to be doing all kinds of celebrating, and it's going to be awesome. But, hey, Mr. Jim Coggins is the best Jim, the only Jim to ever do it the right way. The only Jim that we all love, because fuck all other ones. Okay, I'm just saying. You know, that's my thing for Mr. Jim Connington. He's the best Jim, the only Jim that ever was, that ever will be, and the only one that's awesome. Celebrate good times. I don't know now why that song specifically is like running through my head heavy. And it probably will be for the rest of the day. We are trying, we still have, okay, to give y'all a puppy update on the puppies that we took in, where we found the mommy no longer here with us. The male puppy, we found them a home within 2 days. Literally the second day we had them, somebody had reached out and come and got them. So we still have the 2 females, but somebody else said they might want one of them. So hopefully we have one of them a home right now. We still have one. So we're still trying to find them homes. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Mr. Jim, the best Jim, the only Jim. Let's see who got that gifted membership. Oh, yeah, again, Gamecock Jenny got it. What? And we was just celebrating for you, Jane. Look at that. Look at that. Look at God. Look at God. He was like, Gamecock Jenny deserve her a membership. Look at this. Look at this. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Jim. And look at, won't God do it? Won't he? We was just celebrating too about your new leg. And look, you got a gifted membership. Ain't that awesome? Speaking with y'all, I got to do more membership lives. I know that's on me. That's on me. That's on me. You know what I'm saying? I got to get on the ball about that. And I think when I do my membership lives, I'm going to do, celebrity roastathons or picture roastathons where we roast people to filth and just have fun doing it. We can even include ourselves if we want to. I might include some pictures of myself to roast my damn self. Call myself Peter Griffin or Honey Boo Boo Child. Shit. At least I don't look like Mama June. Shit, I'd rather look like Honey Boo Boo than Mama June. Just saying. You know, I'd rather look like that than I would Slore or the thing from the hey you guys, I'd rather look like that. I swear I'd rather look like Honey Boo Boo Child than I would look like some of them people with the no teeth walking around looking like they got Smeagol looks. I'd rather look like Honey Boo Boo Child than I would Smeagol. I'm just saying. I'd rather walk around with teeth and cricket teeth in my mouth that are white than run around here with, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather look like Honey Boo Boo Child than I would look like Tammy Slayton. So I'm good. I ain't got a fat roll on my forehead. I don't look like a witch. I don't look like somebody who's already got a Halloween mask on and don't need one. So thank you, Jesus. I'd rather still look like that. I'd rather have my fat face, child, than I would like some of them other people because I could fix my fatness. But can you fix your ugly? No, see, you was born that way. You look that way. Ain't no changing that shit. So I can fix my fatness, but baby, you can't fix your ugly. Sorry. I can fix my fatness, baby. I can. I can get skinnier. But you can't fix your ugly, bitch. I'm sorry. You look like you could be in a horror movie without having to put on much prosthetics. So, Jesus was not nice to you. I'm so sorry. You make sure you be safe when you get out that door. Okay? And huggies, my Ray. You be safe, okay? You be safe out there. And don't make me have to stab a bitch for you, because I will. You know I will. I will stab a hoe in the name of Jesus. I'm a part of the slap a hoe tribe and the stab a bitch tribe. So, you better tell folks you got a crazy white cousin that might stab a hoe for you. Tell them, let them know. That your cousin over here, your white cousin, is crazy. That your white sister from another mister might stab him in the eyeball. Let them know. Don't be messing with you like that. Same goes for all y'all in chat. Y'all tell them y'all got a crazy friend. It gets stabby sometimes. And she a little cry. And that she'll rock that orange jumpsuit with a smile. And I can get out on my own recognizance because baby, I ain't never been in trouble. If you ain't never been in trouble, you can get out on your own recognizance. I'll take that simple assault charge on certain folks. And there's a certain person I would take it on. And y'all all know who that person was. I would knock his fucking teeth down his throat. And I would take that simple assault charge and smile in my mugshot. Yes, I would. Well, I'm fixing to get off here anyways, Racing. I love you. I'm going to pray your power comes back on. Girl, let me know in the comment section below when your shit come back on just so I won't worry about you for the rest of the day, okay? Just let me know. obviously get off here though. I'm gonna go deal with these storms and stuff. And let me know how you doing later. If I see you somewhere, let me know if your power came back on or not, and whatnot. Be like, bitch, my power came back. I'll be like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Because I'm going to keep you in my prayers. Keep your phone charged. I love you. Hugs and kisses. I'll see y'all all later on these streets. And we are going to do a thing where I do a members only live, and we're going to make fun of people. And it's going to be fun. Love y'all. Bye.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm ripping my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction, this was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding, come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Outer Street, bending every corner on the west, and that's where I'll be. Sunroof back, Captain C banging down 1800, chunking up the deuce to my post slanging down on 1800. Show no love to the ladies that's training around on 1800, making time stand still, crystalline swinging down on 1800. Watching out for them knuckleheads that be stanging around on 1800. Big rims and low pros be blanging around on 1800. Better completely change the way you're thinking about around 1800. Really hate to see you boys get left slanking around 1800. Out of street got some history, just let Captain C lay it out. If I don't finish it all on this one, let the second verse play it out. Remember the blue apartments and OG standing back there by 60 deep. Bull walking, tall blue, a big Anthony using P.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my